Ladies and gents, how are you doing? The BBC story is still raging on today, but I've already said everything I need to say about that, haven't I? If you still believe they're even remotely impartial, you've genuinely got mental problems. Matthew Stadlen is on there saying that the BBC's definitely impartial. If you believe that, you're not believing your own eyes and ears, are you? So there's no need for me to talk about that anymore. I figured I'd do a nice fluffy story instead, and I could possibly impart some wisdom from an old fella to some struggling young people. Because I'll tell you what I don't understand, this latest craze. I'm getting on a bit, so I might have garbled it. But it seems to be I'm extremely depressed and stressed out, and I'm on the verge of bursting into tears. So I better film it and put it on the internet. Right, so this young lass here, I actually do feel bad for her. If it's genuine, I mean, you never know in this day and age. It might just be total bollocks for a bit of clickbait. Seems like any lass who's over about a 4 out of 10 these days thinks she can be an internet hero, despite the fact she's got, she's completely vapid and has nothing intelligent or useful to say. So maybe it's that. But whatever the case, I'm sure there are millions of women out there in this day and age, in the society gone wrong, where the mainstream media, for their own evil, devious, Machiavellian schemes, have been promoting, polycules and drugs and addiction and stupidity and generally acting like an absolute two-band slapper and grabbing your ankles out the back of a nightclub 6 days a week and trying to convince them that that'll make them happy. So I do genuinely pity these girls. I really do. I feel like as part of this sort of evil globalist scheme where they want everybody to be happily, willingly controlled by the state, I honestly believe they've purposely been trying to make people depressed for the last 20 years. That's why when you go on the BBC, you see stories like, well, I'll show you one. There are the benefits of having many lovers. What benefits are there? You know there's no benefits to ending up with a minge like a yawning hippopotamus. You lying sack of rats, William. And this has been replete for years. It's all over the place. There's another one. Couple to thruple. How polyamory is becoming a new normal. What have I told you lot for years? Look at the state of that. Look at the state of that. They want you to be totally transient, no wife, no kids, no family, doing rails off a bent copper's chopper. That's what they want you to do. That's how they want you to live. Because when you're depressed and you're miserable, you're easy to control. So, anyway, I could literally show you 10 dozen stories of total rank degeneracy that these people, these psychopaths, pushing on young people. So I take no pleasure in this. However, I do think you need to be cruel to be kind, don't I? So, obviously, I'm going to rip the piss out of her anyway. Let's get started.
Guys are so lucky. You guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a fucking roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it.
I have to go out and build a roster. Yeah, I have to go out, line 20 blokes up, like some sort of weird homoerotic plate spinner in a gay disco. Line 20 blokes up and just, pull them all off simultaneously. I have to do it because society's told me it's a good idea. It's not a good idea, love. It's not. Definitely not. Don't have a roster. If you see this, trust me, no successful man ever has ever went, you know what I'm looking for in a woman? An absolute slapper. Yeah, that's what I look for in a woman. If she's got a gash like an axe wound in a gorilla's back, I'm all about that. I'm all about that. That's what successful men are into. Chaste, virtuous woman? No. I want it to be rancid. I want it to be rancid. I want it to be like a clown's pocket full of dog shit before I put my cock in it. Yeah, it makes loads of sense, doesn't it? Again, it's not her fault, because this is what they've been telling them for the last 20 years. But listen to someone who knows. Men want virtuous women. This shouldn't be complicated, should it?
But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her 20s and live a normal life.
I love how she says that like that's true as well, and easy. I don't know if anyone knows this, but humans, there's lots of species where the men do all the picking, and some species, the women do all the picking, like ducks, peacocks, these plumages and stuff. Species are different, but with humans, women get to do the picking. when it comes to shagging. It's an old axiom that everybody knows, right? Women control access to sex, men control access to relationships. If you're an ugly fat bloke with a wonky face, you can't just wait till you're in your 30s and then easily pick up a chick. That's why there's this big movement called incels. You might have heard of it, love. Stop making out like it's harder for you than it is for everybody else. This stuff isn't rocket science. You've decided in your own head that men find it super easy to pick up as many women as they like, and all of them are buff chads fighting the birds off, beating them off the cock with a burning branch. It doesn't work that way. You've been lied to. So sort your life out. Stop throwing your knickers down like a knackered lift and have some standards.
Girls don't have that luxury. I'm now sitting here at 25 having to figure out how to get back in these streets so I can figure out. So 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child.
Oh, there we go. There we go. I didn't see that coming 10 miles away. Your daughter. So you've got a back trooper, is what you're telling me. You've got a back trooper. Again, successful men don't sit there going, I'm rich, I'm successful, I'm hardworking. You know what I want in a woman? What's that? Oh, I want to stir some other bloke's porridge. Yeah, I want to feed and clothe some other little twat who's got no genetic ties to me and will probably get to like 16 or 17 no matter how good I try to be of a stand-in dad and go, you're not my dad, turn against me or something. Like, nobody wants a back trooper. They don't. It's a selfless act if a man really loves a woman and he really does his best to try and raise another man's kid. It's a hugely selfless thing. And I'm not joking. If you do that, you deserve an immense amount of credit. There's loads of good adopted dads out there. God bless them. Most other species don't do it, do they? So it deserves loads of credit, it does. But most men, if you're trying to maximise your potential, if it's the first time they've met you, they'll just go after another bird. And it happened to me. I went out with a really fit bird who I pulled in a club in Borough, and then I found out she had a back trooper. So I did what all self-respecting young men would do, which is resolve to definitely not get emotionally involved, rattled her for a couple of weeks, and then binned her. And I'm not proud of that at all. If I was a better man, I'd have resolved to help her raise another man's child. But I'm sorry, when you're 23, you can't expect blokes to be mature enough to have that type of attitude. So, first mistake, try not to get knocked up. Just a thing, you know, try to be chaste and virtuous and maybe have a kid when you're already in a very long-term committed relationship, possibly married. Just a thought, Ginge.
Like, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to be happy. Like, I want all of these things. But people don't want that nowadays, it feels like no matter, it's like, what is this dating stuff? What is Hinge? What is Tinder? What is all of this? Like, it's disgusting. Like, my friends helped me make a Hinge and a Tinder, and it's like, I hated it. I ended up deleting my Hinge, and I'm getting ready to delete the Tinder because it's just like I don't want to talk to anybody on there. Like, I don't want to do any of this. Like I'm just sitting there like a magazine going through like clothing. That's what it feels like. And it's like, I don't want that. And I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that at all.
Okay. Slightly depressing that, isn't it? I actually feel bad for her if this is genuine. So I've kind of lost my attitude for taking the piss out of there. I actually feel bad for her. Ladies, any young lasses happen to watch this, I'm sure it's a rarity. Old, balding, 40-something man. It usually isn't the person that a young woman go to for advice. But honestly, you know what the cheat code is here? The life hack. That's what young people call it, don't they? A life hack. I'll tell you what you do. You start dressing modestly and you get a job because you might meet someone nice at work. And you get on with your life and you try and be useful to society. And along the way, yeah, delete them apps. I agree with you. You obviously want to delete the apps as well. You start saying things to people who make nice conversation with you like, oh no, I've always been quite traditional, gal, me. I'm looking for the type of man who wants to get married and settle down. You know, I don't enjoy going clubbing and all that. And then desperately attempt to explain away the back trooper. I don't know how you're going to do that. Just be honest. And say, when I was younger, I was a bit stupid, but, you know, I matured fast. A kid does that to you. And I'm really looking for a stable relationship because I'm not that type of girl, and I never was. You know, I was just showing off and reading the BBC. And on the BBC every day it says things like, here's 10 ways you should nosh your granddad off because that'll make you happy. Or here's 7 ways you should pop some pills and get bummed senseless over a park bench by 12 illegal immigrants. You know, the type of advice the media give you. It's not her fault, and I genuinely feel sorry for her. But let me know what you think in the comments. If you've got some good dating advice for this ginger girl, I'll put a link in the comments to a video. Maybe you can send her it. Not real news today, because who wants to talk about the BBC? We don't need to say anything more about the BBC, do we? It's propaganda, it wants bulldozing, and Mr. President, if you want to like airstrike Broadcasting House while Match of the Day is going out live, that'd work for me as well. You want to do us all a solid. That's me for the day, ladies and gents. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Toodle pip. Cheers.